right. Hello, hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. I am your host, Trinity, and welcome to the morning movie chat. I hope you're all doing very well today. Here we are on the 3rd of January, 2020. And in case you guys can't tell, I am I am at the airport right now. Been just busy. Here on vacation. I do greatly appreciate all of you guys. Do greatly appreciate you guys showing up to watch my morning movie chats. Even though it's been a little bit different here this past week or so as I've been on vacation. But hey, like I've already said, there's really these days there's no reason with modern technology not to be able to get out there and do these live streams, do videos and things like that out there. So I hope you're all doing well today. And today we're going to be talking about. Today we're going to go ahead and talk about a little bit more about Star Wars and Jon Favreau taking over Lucasfilm. I know the big controversy out there right now is just something that's been going on as far as with Star Wars. We see this whole debacle, this whole debate going on out there. All these leaks coming out. Apparently, with this, the Star Wars, the Rise of Skywalker, and just people's different takes on it. Because apparently, JJ, there's this thing is trending called hashtag release the JJ cut and all this kinds of stuff when it comes to this the Star Wars franchise. After there's been kind of a bit of a I don't know, some debates out there going on. Just some of the arm wrestling that goes on in the film community. Uh, when they're making these productions and things like that. Dutch Kitty, thank you so much for being here today. I hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going well with you today. Hopefully things are going a little bit better. Following you on Instagram and seeing that you with I believe, what is it, with Crohn's that you have, things acting up. I won't confess to know a whole lot about that, but I hope you're doing well. So yeah, like I said, there's this whole debacle going on out there with release the JJ cut, people talking about, these different cuts and edits and things that had come out of the movie, and I don't really want to touch on that. There's plenty of better channels who have their ear more to the ground on those kinds of things. But hey, I get it. Orville Nation, thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate you being here, and I greatly appreciate everybody being here. No, if you are here, if you could do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button, share this on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it helps out the channel and all that kinds of stuff, or so they say. What really helps out more than anything is you being here and watching the show and just interacting, because you guys I have talked about this many times. You guys are kind of what help these live streams stay alive, and you guys are what keeps creators coming back. So the one thing I wanted to talk about today, like I said, with Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, we see there's everybody out there talking about different things out there. This release, the JJ cut, was trending. I won't confess to know a whole lot about that. Really, nobody knows a whole lot about that. This all came out from a Reddit leak where they were talking about the arm wrestling going on behind the scenes, trying to get certain aspects of the movie made, having to make different cuts and all these kinds of things. Me, guys, I think a lot of that it's ridiculous. I'm not saying that any of it's not true or there wasn't any kind of that arm wrestling going on. I'm sure there was. Fans out there won't release the JJ cut, same as they won't release the Snyder cut and all of that kinds of stuff. But like, honestly, when it comes down to those kinds of things, I gotta say, does it really help? If they release the Snyder cut of Justice League, is that going to help anything? Is it going to make the movie better? I mean, it's already too late anyway. The boat's kind of sailed on that. You know what I mean? And then plus the next thing is then they're going to release another cut of a movie that everybody's going to be sitting there going, "Oh, cash grab." You know what I mean? Like, it's really pointless, and it doesn't really help anything along other than their pocketbooks, which is probably one reason why they would want to go ahead and take advantage of those kinds of things, and knowing that they could just make more money, which at the same time I think is kind of a good thing. And we see the same thing going on with Star Wars now with release the JJ cut. U.S. Dutch Kitty says, "I'm doing okay, but thank you. Yeah, I think I might need to do a video about Crohn's to educate some people. Believe me, I don't bite." Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what? Honestly, you should do that, U.S. Dutch Kitty. You should do that. Because like me being not affected by it, I don't know a whole lot about it, and I think that's the same for a lot of people. If we don't know about something, we tend to not really look into those kinds of things unless we know somebody personally that is going through struggles like that. So yeah, that's certainly something honestly you probably should do. Um, I'm True Skills says Trinity, what's up? Thanks for retweeting my content. Yeah, no problem, man. Perp Minded, what's up, my brother? How are you doing? So yeah, as I was saying, the this that now that we get we had to release the Snyder cut, now we got released the JJ cut, and one thing I've really got to say about all that kinds of stuff is is it going to improve? Is releasing the JJ cut of Rise of Skywalker, is it going to help anything? Is it going to help make the franchise better? Is it going to help make the sequel trilogy any better? You know what I mean? I think that's the thing a lot of people, don't think about when they're asking, release the JJ cut just because, he has a cut of the movie that, that he wanted to put out or that would have been a little bit different or anything like that. For me, I don't think it's going to help anything. It's not going to help. It's not going to help The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker be any better as a trilogy. And like I said, the way I think a lot of people kind of feel about Star Wars right now in general, and even Disney in general, as the company who owns Lucasfilm, I don't think it's going to satisfy anybody. If anything, a lot of people they might go watch the movie. I mean, are all the people that are kind of out there biased, have their biases against what Disney has done with Star Wars? Is it going to help them out? You know what I mean? Is it gonna help them out feel better about anything? I don't think that these kinds of things are very important things out there. The movie's out there. It is what it is. There really is no going back and changing that at this point. Thank you. Um, so, I think it's a bunch of silliness, but let me know what you think, what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know. Do you think that releasing the JJ cut is going to help anything? Do you think that people are going to be more happy? Do you think that it's going to help heal the sequel trilogy or help bring the fan base back together if they release the JJ cut? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. So, U.S. Dutch Kitty says, "Well, that just made my morning, Trinity." Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad. That's one of the things on my channel. I always hope that I can positively affect people in a good way, or just or maybe say things that are thought provoking or whatever. It was funny. I was thinking about that this morning as I was watching. Somebody was commenting on my video I did yesterday talking about Collider. And I was thinking about the language we use. I was talking about that yesterday. The language we use in videos, how we affected the world and things like that. And yeah, and just the different things like that. I think it's something that we can all do to better improve on, and trying to and that's all I really want to do is help. If I make somebody's day better, hey man, great. That makes me feel good. Adding value to others is something I think we should definitely all try to do, and be cognizant of what we're putting out there in the world and how other people perceive it and how people take it. The other thing now, when it comes down to let's see. Perp Minded says release the Wonder Woman 84 cut. Yeah, you know what? They need to release that movie already, dude. I can't wait for that one. Odin's movie blog. Thank you so much for being here. Says yeah, Jon Favreau absolutely should. Yes, okay, and that's where we're gonna go ahead and get on to. But like I was just asking a few minutes ago, guys, let me know down in the comments below if you think the Jon Favreau, or not Jon Favreau, but releasing the JJ cut is gonna make any difference for the sequel trilogy, or if it's really going to help anything. Now, as far as Jon Favreau taking over Lucasfilm, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today because I see that's something that's been kind of a hot topic that's been going around out there. Perry Comics, thank you so much for being here. Is uh, is is Jon Favreau taking over Lucasfilm, would that be a good thing? I mean, honestly, yes, that would be a great thing for Lucasfilm to do. It'd be a smart move. Jon Favreau is a great filmmaker. He's a great writer. He's a great director. He's a great producer. Now, when I say great, I mean, are all his movies the greatest or anything like that? No, but we can see the guy has a good idea for what he's doing behind the camera, for what he's doing in his writing and things like that. If you haven't ever checked out Jon Favreau's career, something you guys should definitely do. I know one of the first movies I remember seeing him in back in the day, but back in the 90s was obviously Swingers was pretty popular, but CPU was one of the first times I remember seeing him in a movie. I'm not sure if you guys ever seen that. Pretty much about a bunch of kids in college, going through and just different things that you go through, experiences in college. I wouldn't know. I never went to college, But he's a pretty good actor. You know, he's a pretty good actor. And then when it comes down to, you know, he obviously wrote some movies as well. I can't remember if it was, I think it was Swingers that he actually wrote, and I'm not for sure if he actually directed that one or not without having, you know, IMDb sitting here in front of my face or anything. But he's a great writer as well, and a good filmmaker. But does that in itself mean that, you know, he should take over Lucasfilm? I think they would definitely benefit from it. I think, you know, we can see what he's done with the Mandalorian already. He has a good feeling for for the universe and things like that, and can certainly bring us good content to, you know, to the Star Wars universe, which is something that obviously at this point is very much needed. But as far as that's concerned, the way I feel about it is if Jon Favreau goes and takes over Lucasfilm, my personal feelings is he has so much more to offer us than just Star Wars content. I think, you know, he has a lot more filmmaking left in him, writing and producing as well. You know, I know here, guess what, it's been a couple years ago, a few years ago, he released the movie Chef, which I thought was a great movie. It was one that really hit close to home for me because, you know, guys, I own my own business. I I go around my local area, you know, and sell like snacks and things like that. It's really great. I get to get into a lot of the local businesses and just kind of keep in touch with a bunch of people there locally. And that's kind of, you know, when I watch the movie Chef, it kind of motivates me. You know, makes me feel better. You know, and like think, you know, just about my own goals and things with my own business. But before I ever started the business that I'm in right now, I actually wanted to have like a mobile juice bar and go around and do like organic juices, just things like that out there. So I watch a movie like Chef, and I'm like, man, this movie is so great. Plus, you know, it's a good family story. It's a good, you know, story about, you know, like even if you're like a small business owner or an entrepreneur, or you just have dreams and aspirations of doing things like that. It's a really great movie, and Jon Favreau is great at telling those kinds of stories. And me personally, I feel that if he were to take over ILM or Lucasfilm and be the producer there, that kind of consumes his life and takes up a lot of time, and I feel it's kind of a waste of his talents because I would like to see him do more content than just Star Wars. But certainly, the one thing I will say is Lucasfilm does need better people out there um, to uh, to bring uh, to bring more content out there for Star Wars, more good Star Wars content. So we'll go ahead and let me know what you guys think about that. I mean, do you think that Jon Favreau has more to offer us than just Star Wars? Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll get in here to the live chat and see what everybody else is saying about that as well. Um, let's see. Okay. Um, U.S. Dutch Kitty says Wonder Woman 84 is my birthday movie. I cannot wait. Nice, nice. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that one either. Every time I watch the trailers for it, it just gets better and better. It looks really good. It looks really great. Like I want to jump out of my seat and start screaming. Kind of like when I seen that Tenet trailer. That when I went and seen the Rise of Skywalker, they did like this whole little prelude for Tenet, and I don't know. I think it was about 5 minutes long or so, and man, that movie for one looks great in the first place, a Christopher Nolan movie. But I've seen that and it gets me hyped up too. But certainly Wonder Woman 84 looks very good. Um, so let's see. Perry Comics says, "Yo." Odin's movie block says, "Probably not, since since the Last Jedi already pretty much destroyed any chance." Yeah, and see, and that's kind of how I feel about it too. Like, I understand people wanting to get a great producer over there in Lucasfilm, somebody to kind of oversee everything. Oh, I guess actually you're talking about release the JJ cut. Yeah, yeah, and I feel the same way about that. Is the damage is already done. The movies are already made. There's really no point to go back and try to do anything to fix any of it. You know, I've even heard people out there, you know, just like on Twitter and even here on YouTube and things, saying like, you know, one thing that, you know, what they should do is they should go back and just basically do away with the Last Jedi and make a new movie, just reboot it and all that kinds of stuff. And to me, like, I gotta say, like, that's the stupidest idea in the world I've ever heard. Like, they're gonna go back and make another movie and say, "Oh, this is the Last Jedi rebooted. We're gonna redo this. This movie don't count." That just, to me, that just sounds ridiculous. It sounds like the stupidest thing in the world to do. I mean, We already got the Last Jedi. It's already here. We got the Rise of Skywalker. It's already here. It's already a done deal. So there's no point in the company themselves going back and doing anything about that. It just sounds completely absurd. While I do understand that people don't like the Last Jedi, people downright despise the Last Jedi, Ryan Johnson, all those kinds of things. I get that. I totally understand that. But going through for the company to go through and make a whole other movie and say, "Hey, we're doing away with this, and we got this new one coming out. This is going to be the one that's going to be the follow-up to The Force Awakens," or even just replace all those movies, just sounds absolutely ridiculous if you ask me. But I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't think releasing the JJ cut is gonna help anything along whatsoever. Um, so yeah, and yeah, I appreciate that. Um, Odin, let's see. Adam Douglas, thank you so much for being here. Says I don't want him at all, not because he's not awesome, but his element is directing films and TVs, not being in an office crunching numbers. I'll agree with you there, Adam Douglas. For one, I mean, I don't think the producers necessarily do that. I mean, they look at those, they got the number crunchers in there, but yeah, I think yeah, and that's kind of the way I feel about it. I feel like he's got more to offer the world than just Star Wars, and I hate to say just Star Wars because that makes it sound like I don't like Star Wars or anything like that. That's not the case. Like me, I love Star Wars. I even like the sequel trilogy. The Force Awakens was, yeah, I think is a great movie. And the Last Jedi, I actually like the Last Jedi, but I will give it to you that I don't think it's a great movie. I don't think I could ever argue that it is a good movie or a great movie. Or anything like that. For me, I've talked about this before. It does way more bad than it does good from a movie making aspect, or from a storytelling aspect with Star Wars. You know, a lot of people go out there and say how it smashes canon and completely obliterates just a lot of the things that have come before it, and I get that. But as far as the film itself, I mean, it's beautifully shot. It's got some great scenes in there. Just a really beautifully shot movie, you know. And there are some things in there that happen that are okay, but as far as the rest of it, I mean, it's not that great. And then you get to the Rise of Skywalker, and you know, a lot of people say it kind of destroys what the Last Jedi done and things like that. And you know, it's just kind of the headache about the movie is there's so much crammed into it. It's so fast paced. I think one of the things that somebody out there, and I've talked about this before, was Echo Base Network the other day when we were on Mad Max's channel, was saying about how basically these movies are just like they're too big and grandiose now. You know, and I'm paraphrasing here. This isn't exactly how they said it, but it's too big of a spectacle, and that's not what Star Wars ever was. You know, it's like they tried to make it an Avengers movie. You know, like they tried to make it Endgame, and that's not what Star Wars is. But yeah, certainly, Jon Favreau has much more to offer us than just. Than just Star Wars, and like I said, I like Star Wars, but you know, the sequel trilogy for me overall, I mean, I think it's okay. You know, but it's certainly not the greatest of any of the Star Wars that we've got so far. And who knows? Maybe one of these days we'll look back at the sequel trilogy, and who knows? Maybe we'll look back at the sequel trilogy and be like, "Oh God, bring back the sequel trilogy." I could be wrong there. I could be wrong there. And I know that's not even high hopes. That's really low hopes. um, Odin Movie Block says he just wrote it. Okay, he did. Okay, he didn't direct Swingers. Yeah, I was gonna say I knew he just wrote it. I can't remember what his first movie directing job was, but obviously everything that he's done out there as far as writing and directing films, he's done a really great job with. And I'll tell you personally, I haven't watched any of the live action remakes he's done of the Disney movies, but from what I've heard, they're decent. They're decent. I'm not really into. It's not that I'm not into remakes or reboots or anything like that. It's just I'm not, you know, I watch the cartoons. I grew up on those. Those are what I want to see. Live action remakes, you know, if somebody wants to see that, it's cool. You know, you're getting a new generation of people into the movies. Hey, that's fine. That's fine. Maybe it gets them. Maybe they don't like that and they want to go back and watch the classic that inspired it. Maybe they like that more than they like the original animated version. Hey, you know, that's the beauty of the subjectivity of movies. You know, there's something out there. There's kind of something out there for everybody. Um, let's see. DKOT Star Wars says Filoni and Favreau, while consulting George Lucas equals a great Star Wars. Yeah, yeah, definitely, and I think that's something they should do. Is definitely, I mean, they should still, you know, employ George Lucas to the point to where they look to him for input and things like that. I mean, he's the guy who gave us Star Wars. You know what I mean? And we can see that he's not the greatest at it either. You know, look at the prequel trilogy. You know, he's as that he could do better or worse and things like that. So it's I won't put all my stock into George Lucas, but they should make sure that they consult him when it comes to those kinds of things. Vlad Riot says. You're a busy man, Second Street Marvel. Yeah, like I said, right now we're at the airport getting ready to head back home from vacation. Thank you so much for being here, Vlad Riot. Aggressively Relaxing says they should fire the legendary producer Kennedy and hire the guy she hired to produce content because he is good at it. Aggressively Relaxing, you crack me up, bro. You guys should go check out Aggressively Relaxing's channel, dude. He makes some hilarious content, really good stuff. And I say hilarious, like he's just funny. It's not that his content is just funny. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know. Ode's movie blog says, "Good U.S. Dutch are watching The Last Starfighter for the first time, dude." Odin, this is something I've talked about with you before, bro. You got to get back and watch some of those '80s movies, man. Even watch some movies from the '70s, bro. You're missing out. You're missing out on watching a lot of the old stuff, man. You really need to go back and watch them. I know you've been on camera. I seen you one day talking about you haven't watched a lot of the whole lot of movies anything before the '90s, so you really should, man. Last Starfighter is definitely a good one. Also, go back and watch Flight of the Navigator. That's a good one too. Some from my childhood, but of course I'm a 40-year-old dude, man. So I grew up watching a lot of that stuff. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man. Last Starfighter, that's a good one. I haven't watched that in a long time. One I definitely need to get out there and watch again. Uh, DKOT Star Wars says Ode's movie blog. Just agreed me. I can die now. My gods. Nice, nice. Um, let's see. What's the movie blog says, "Hi, I'm just a dude, K dot or DKOT." Yeah, and that's one of the things I say too. Sometimes people, and that's one of the cool things about social media is and especially like YouTube, we have our personalities, we can get out there, and people look to us and they like our opinions and things like that. And I think that's a good thing. When we're building our audience and stuff like that, it's great that we get people who look to us and appreciate the work that we're doing, and respect our opinions, our thoughts and opinions when it comes to those kinds of things. They can look to us as a trusted source for our opinions. Whether they agree with us or not is a completely different thing, but they look to us to somebody that they to be of sound mind, that they can trust our opinions when it comes to those kinds of things. So certainly. Let's see. DKOT Star Wars says they could always hire George Lucas. They could. They certainly could. I'm sure. But I'm sure George Lucas is sitting on a mountain of money. He don't. He don't. He But they certainly could go to him for consultation. Definitely. They definitely could. And honestly, they should. They should. U.S. Dutch Kitty says, "Call me Dutch." Okay. We can do that. Aggressively Relaxing says, "Damn, you brought up chef, and now I want a Cuban sandwich." Yes, yes. I don't think I've ever had a Cubano, but sounds good. Sounds good. And I can't right now. I can't have sandwiches right now. I'm trying to get back into that keto lifestyle so I can shed some weight and get back on my bike and get my fitness back up to where it needs to be. Uh, Snow Dub Music and Entertainment. What's up, Jenner? Check. How are you doing, man? Um, let's see. Max Santiago, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you being here, bro. Hope you're doing well today. Um, let's see. Comic Assassin says, "Good morning. Good morning to you, Comic Assassin. I hope you're doing well." Um, let's see. Max Santiago says, "All good today. Hanging out with you peeps. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here." James Clark Artist is here as well. You guys should go check out James Clark Artist, man. He does, man, this dude is talented. He does art, he does videos, he does music. Man, like I'm waiting for him to do a video where he's doing music and doing art at the same time, even though music is art, but you know what I mean. Definitely go check out his stuff, man. Definitely a man of many talents, much like myself. I'm kind of a jack of all trades, but only master of one, and that one being life. Um, Let's see. Max Santiago says, "I'm over Star Wars." Yeah, I get it. And especially that's something we should probably get used to right now too. Is anyway, is Disney now owns the Star Wars franchise and everything like that, and it seems like that's kind of their thing now, is pumping out Star Wars content, which is what from the generation I'm from. You know what I mean? That's not how we grew up. We didn't grow up with Star Wars content coming out every year, let alone every other year, and just those kinds of things. You know what I mean? So I think there is, it's not Marvel, you know what I mean? And even I think even at some point Marvel may have to kind of scale things back and just slow things down a little bit as well. So I get what you're saying, Max. I totally get what you're saying. DKOT says that meant Santiago, but that's why we need head. That's why we need head canon. There's 40 years worth of awesome Star Wars. We wouldn't we who didn't like the sequels can still love and revel in. Yes, I'll agree with you there, DKOT. Although the one thing I've said I've argued a couple times is that a lot of people aren't satisfied with what Disney has done to Star Wars. At this point, would it bring those people back in if they brought in any of the EU content into current continuity or anything like that? Would anybody actually like that? It's one thing to want it, but do you trust Disney to make those movies to bring the EU in to the Star Wars canon? Let me know down in the comments below about that, guys, because that's something I've talked about several times here on the channel. Is I think there's people out there that want that, but would they like what Disney would do with that? Max Santiago says, someone out there will create the next franchise that will dethrone Star Wars. We will be there to support it. Yeah, you know what? And honestly, I mean, as far as if you're talking like a space adventure movies, certainly somebody else will come along and do something. As far as anything else, I mean, I think, Kevin Feige has done that exact thing with Marvel and Marvel Studios. Come out and dominated, just absolutely dominated over the past decade. So, somebody else will come along at some point and give us something else. And I don't know that it's necessarily that it's going to have to dominate it or edge it out. More than the fact of we just got more great nerdy content to go out there and enjoy. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, definitely. Owen's movie block says Second Street hates Star Wars. Confirmed. Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. You're starting to sound like Warsuit now. Confirmed. Oh man. Um, Max Santiago says agreed. DKOT. We decide what is canon. Yeah, and that's for the most part. Like we shouldn't let just because some movies come out and somebody comes out and says, oh, this isn't canon anymore. That doesn't mean that you have to take it at what it's worth. The canon still, the EU still exists for us to enjoy. All the other things, the extended universe and all that stuff, it's there for us to still enjoy. Just because one thing comes along doesn't mean that you have to let go of what came before it. Just like one of the things, like a lot of there's been that talk of a Princess Bride reboot coming out and all that stuff. Just because they do a reboot of the Princess Bride doesn't mean that they have to completely that does away with the first movie. If if they do reboot it and the reboot comes out and you like it, hey, that's great. If you don't like it, hey, you still got the original one there to enjoy as well. So there's all those kinds of things to take in stride. Where I get where some people may not like it. And I get it too, because Princess Bride is a classic. Should it be remade? Probably not. If they remake it, will I like it? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Just hopefully they put it in the hands of somebody who can be trusted and who can bring us a good movie. Um, let's see. DKOT Server says, if y'all remember, just call me James. Okay, we'll call you James. DKOT James. I think that's his handle over there on Twitter. Um, Matt Santiago says, Odin, what do you think? Cousin Angel says the Casino Planet was the worst thing about the Last Jedi. Yeah, and for me, yeah, Canto Bight. The whole scene is because really nothing happened. It didn't add to the story. It didn't serve any purpose or anything like that. I know a lot of people talk about which was pretty much all that Canto Bight said. The political aspects of it. People say they want politics out of movies, and I've long argued this that and I will probably until the day I die is that there's politics in everything, the movies, music, art, comic books, all that kind of stuff. The politics have always been there. The thing is whether it's lazy writing or not, it should be thought provoking and make you think about things. It shouldn't be so on the nose. But really, overall, movies, music, comic books, all these things are expressive mediums for people to express themselves and even put their own personal politics into it, but it should be done in a way that's more thought provoking, not just outright out there like, hey, here's what I think about, here's what I think about Trump or think about these politics or this and that. It should be thought provoking, not triggering. You know what I mean? It should be done in the right way. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I definitely hear I hear you there with the Casino Planet thing. Definitely a lot of stuff there that may not should not have been done. Vlad Wright says, "Did you change the location because uh, I asked about the cows?" Yes, yeah, I changed the location. We're now at the airport. We're now at SeaTac Airport, getting ready to head down to. I believe we're stopping off in Oakland before we head back to LA. We're going back to Cali. Ooh, content strike. I'm kidding. um, Matt Santiago said, I started Witcher 2, started The Witcher 2 episodes in, liking it. Yeah, I've never played it. I believe that's a video game. I've never played it. I don't know anything about it. I haven't even started to watch the episodes yet either. If you guys know me, I'm not really big into like the TV shows and all that kinds of stuff. I'm a movie buff. To me, like even the streaming ones, like the Mandalorian, I went ahead and watched them because it looked interesting. But I just don't like the whole TV format, the episodic thing. I don't know, it's just not for me. But I could certainly understand how. The one thing I did like about the Mandalorian is that they're done in just half-hour formats. Short, easy to swallow. You don't have to sit there and invest an hour or an hour and a half like you would a movie. Into those kinds of things. Like I don't mind doing that for a movie, but if you're going to do a TV show that's 45 minutes long, an hour long, like just make a movie. That's how I feel about that. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people out there talking about The Witcher and different various opinions about it. Some people like it, some people don't. I know we've seen that. God, there was somebody that was a Variety that put out that article where they didn't even watch the full series, but yet they sat there and criticized it, which is absolutely ridiculous. If you're going to criticize something, watch it. Watch all of it, if anything. DKOT says, okay, James says, John can still consult Filoni, who consults George Lucas. Thank Filoni and Lucas for the last 3 episodes of Clone Wars, season 6, some of the best Star Wars ever. Yeah, and I've never watched that. I've heard a lot of people say that those cartoons are pretty good ones to go out there and watch. Odin's movie blog says absolutely Max. Just like many argue that The Witcher has taken place of Game of Thrones, still not nearly as big, but yeah, yeah. And you know what? That really it just comes down to good writing and good filmmaking. And I think just like when it comes to comic books, for me, I'm willing to let the art go a little bit. I'm willing to put up with art that isn't quite on point as long as I have a great story. However, if I have great art but bad story, that's a different thing, which I think like a movie like The Last Jedi is a true testament to that, where you can see it's beautifully shot and everything, but the storytelling just isn't quite there. So yeah, a lot of things to take into consideration there, for sure. Matt Santiago says, Odin, so far good. I have Witcher 3 ready to play soon. Nice, nice. Odin Movie Block says, all right, back to my movie later. Well, thank you so much for being here, Odin. I greatly appreciate you stopping by, bro. Have a good day and good luck with your movie, man. Adam Douglas says, don't forget he got other passion projects he wants to do. He's got more seasons of The Chef Show, Jungle Book 2. He still wants to do that theme park movie. He loves Star Wars, but Mando is enough. Yeah, and I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good start. Let him just be the producer and the showrunner on Mandalorian like he's been doing. I think to me, I think that's good enough. And certainly they could always consult him for the movies and stuff as well. But if you're going to consult somebody, he's not going to be a producer. Just go to George Lucas. That's if you ask me. James says live action remakes have a novelty appeal, but it's no thanks from me. Animated, um animated past generation to generation. Yeah, it does, it really does. Definitely so. Perp Minded says, bro, 50 away from 1K. I know, slowly getting there, man, slowly getting there. It seems like this last 100 has been kind of slow moving. It seems like once I hit 500, the move to 900 was actually pretty quick, and now these last 50 seem to just be going by. But it's all good, man. Just slowly building the audience, and that's thanks to people like you out there, being here helping it push the YouTube algorithm and all that kinds of silly stuff. Really, I guess it's more about me and more about you guys. Um, you guys are kind of what helped me get better as a content creator and as a commentator. And me obviously making content is kind of what helps too. But altogether, you guys are really the lifeblood of what of the channel, more so than me. You know what I mean? I just get on the camera, I just turn on my camera and microphone and flap my guns. And again, thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you hit the like button and all that kinds of good stuff that YouTube tells me to tell you to do, because apparently you know what? Sometimes we forget, and I'm guilty of that as well. Um, Max Santiago says, "Let me run Lucasfilm." Hey, man, you got my vote. Let's do it. Let's do it. Curtis Wise, he says, "Star Wars is a rip off of Star Crash." I've never seen Star Crash. I don't, so I can't really speak to that. And thank you so much for being here, Curtis Wise. Thank you so much. You guys should definitely go check out Curtis Wise's channel as well. Another great content creator. Got a small channel out there, and he could definitely use some more support. And Curtis Wise is a good dude. So make sure you go check out his channel. James says, Santiago, if you give me Karen Gillan as Mara Jade, the job is yours. Yeah, that would be cool because you know what? I like Karen Gillan, a very beautiful and talented actress. Um, so I can't say that that would necessarily be a bad thing. Max Santiago says, aggressively, your videos are so awesome. Yes, aggressively relaxing is hilarious, dude. He's the godfather of the Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the Godfather, the guy who was out there criticizing Star Wars before anybody was aggressively relaxing. Max Santiago. Oh, I just read that one. Chaos and Comics says, I love Filoni. He should take over. Yeah, maybe as a producer, I know like when it comes to, like the live action stuff, what he's done with The Mandalorian, his two episodes of The Mandalorian to me are some of the worst episodes. And that's not to say that they're terrible or that they're bad. Just that I think, he needs to grow in that department, directing live action. But, honestly, I haven't seen enough of his stuff to say whether he should or not. But it seems like he's done a pretty good job with those cartoons that he was a part of. So yeah, Perry Comics says live from the airport, flipping awesome. Yeah, man. I'm taking hooks from you, Perry, man. Walking around the house getting apple juice and stuff. Certainly, certainly. Nerdy Blurb TV, what's up, my brother? Ooh, Nerdy Blurb, look at that. Look at what I'm sporting right there. Yeah, sporting that Nerdy Blurb TV merch. You guys should definitely go check out my brother Ryan over at Nerdy Blurb TV, one of my favorite content creators. And a while back, he did the Skywalker Experience, where he got together with a lot of content creators and we submitted videos, kind of the lead up to the Rise of Skywalker. Very good stuff. Ryan's a great great content creator. He also is actually starting to do, if you need like an intro for your YouTube channel or anything like that, or just anything out there, he is doing some commission work. I know. I think I shared it on Twitter. He's got a Fiverr thing where you can go out there and employ some of his great skills out there. He is a phenomenal editor. Um, Definitely, you guys should go check out Nerdy Blurb and Nerdy Ryan. If you're here, you can feel free to drop a link to your Fiverr down there in the comment section. And actually, maybe I'm gonna add that link to my descriptions as well. Um, since I've got the link to your channel in there as well in all my videos. Uh, Iron True Skill says, I hear that Thor is good. Yeah, yeah. You talking about the new Thor comic book? I haven't read it yet, but I did buy it so I can read and check that out. Speaking of which, I released my comic book pull list here on the channel just this morning, but those will be premiered on Facebook from now on. So you guys kind of doing some cross-platform stuff. So you guys can make sure that you go follow me over on Facebook, Instagram, and even Twitter as well. Max Santiago says, "Easy, Sebastian Stan as Luke. We have a series. We have a series. Yeah, you know what, Sebastian. I remember somebody posting that Sebastian Stan does look a lot like like Mark Hamill did in his younger days, man. Seriously, I seen a picture. I was like, "Ooh, wow, they could do that. That would work." Nerdy Blurb TV says Jon Favreau is a busy dude, but he'd be a great Lucas CEO. Yeah, I think he would. I think he would as well. Um, but again, I think he has more to offer us than just Star Wars. I'd like to see him do more. I mean, because really, I mean, if you think about it, he hasn't really done a whole lot as far as like directing and writing neither. I mean, he has, but he hasn't, like I think he's just got more to offer us. Comic Assassin says Last Starfighter was the bomb. Yeah, it was, dude. I love the Last Starfighter. I remember loving that when I was a kid. Um, Let's see. Perry Comic says, "How's it going, Max?" Cousin Angel says, "Can we agree that Poe getting slapped by Leia in the Last Jedi was just funny?" I thought it was, it is what it is what it was. Sometimes, hey, sometimes I think we all need a little slap across the face. You know what I mean? I'm sure, I could. I'm sure some of us do need that from time to time. Max Santiago says, "It's going well, man. Day off and hanging out with you guys. I have some comics to read. New Mutants number 3 and number 4. Oh yeah, yeah, and enjoy those. You know, for me, the New Mutants, been a pretty good series. I think 3 and 4 are a little more out there as far as the characters. To me, some of the characters there are a little insufferable though, just the way they interact with each other, the language they use, and stuff like that. But I mean, it's the New Mutants, so I guess kind of something to be expected. Um, Out of that. Man, I must be way behind here on the chats, man. Oh man, yeah, you guys are going at it, man. No wonder it keeps jumping on me. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump down here a little bit. Aggressively relaxing says, "Oh hey, I missed a compliment. Thanks, Max. I'm making a song right now about being a henchman. Oh man, I can't wait to see that. Aggressively relaxing, dude. Yes, yes. Like I said, you guys got to go check out Aggressively Relaxing's channel, man. This dude, I can't even say maybe he don't have a sense of humor, but he knows how to write humorous stuff. But I think he's got a sense of humor. He certainly does. Let us know when it's finished for sure. You know, get on Twitter and tweet that stuff out, man. I'll share that stuff, dude, because I love his content. Fenrir Fire says Favreau doesn't take big risks. I think he'd honor Star Wars for what it really is and take it slow and methodical. Agreed. Agreed. He's a good storyteller. He's a great writer. He's a great producer. I completely agree with you there, Fenrir. Um, Comic Assassin says, "Morning, downright. Oh, downright nerdy podcast is here. Yes, he is. All right, downright nerdy podcast. Another very good channel. You guys should definitely go and check out. And hey, I think they're headed to Hawaii soon. Can't wait to see the podcast from Hawaii. And there's no excuse, downright nerdy. Look, I'm in the airport live streaming with you guys. But yeah, just certainly go check out Downright Nerdy podcast as well. Biden Touch is here. Slap. um, Let's see. I watched the last Starfighter every summer, says Fenrir. Yeah, you know, I need to just go buy that movie, not just watch it. I need to go buy that. Once more, I should definitely own a good one from my childhood, definitely. Um, so yeah, definitely go check out the Downright Nerdy podcast. Very good stuff. And you know what? Honestly, go check out each other's channels. You know, a lot of the people that show up here in my chats on my streams and stuff like that. A lot of them, if they're content creators, make good content. You know, chances are I probably follow them as well and support them. And you know, that's obviously why I'd give them a mention here in the video. You know, I wouldn't tell you guys to go check out trashy content. Well, I don't know. Maybe I would. I don't know. But of course, I guess that depends on all on how you feel about different things. You know, different varying opinions. Um, but guys, it's been going live here for about 41 minutes or so. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to end the show here. But let me know what you got. Oh, Damajani shows up. What's up, my brother? How are you doing? Hey, man, you feeling good after the other day? I'm just kidding, man. Stay hydrated. All of you should stay hydrated. Um, but yeah, guys, let me know if you guys return here to the video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below about Jon Favreau. If you guys think he should take over Lucasfilm, or you know, if you feel like me, where I think he has more to offer us than just Star Wars. Also, make sure you go and check out. I released my, like I said earlier, I am going to make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Second Street Marvel, because I am going to start premiering my comic book pull list over there. I just dropped my comic book pull list this week here on the channel just this morning. I announced some giveaways there that I'm going to be doing for that video as well, and of some comic books. So make sure you go follow me. That's kind of my New Year's thing here for the channel, is to go out there and do a little bit more cross-platform stuff to grow my reach on those other arenas as well. But that's all I have for the morning movie chat today, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel. If you're not already, make sure you're subscribed and like and all that kind of stuff that YouTube tells me to tell you to do, because we all forget from time to time. But you all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you guys tonight on the Trailer Park Live. You have a good one, and we'll see you then. Take it easy. Later.